Hello, I'm Christopher Uhl, the 10-Minute Stock Trader, and I want to talk to you today an easy way that I have found to balance risk and reward when trading options.
This is the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, brought to you by 10MinuteStockTrader.com.
Hello, and welcome back to the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, brought to you by 10MinuteStockTrader.com. I'm your host, the 10-Minute Stock Trader himself, Christopher Uhl, voted one of the top 100 people in finance for 2019, which I'm exceptionally humbled and proud of. So thank you all for that. So let's go to the iPad, and I want to talk today about a really easy way that we can balance risk and reward. Very simple to find, especially on the Tastyworks platform, where we can see how much risk, how much reward, and if it makes sense to put on a trade. So let's go to the iPad real quick. So the first thing that I do is I sort by implied volatility rank, which I've already done here. Then we're going to click into OIH. So OIH is a oil ETF, and what I want to look at here is the delta column, which we've talked about before. It's on the far left and far right, and then I'm going to go down to the 25 delta. That's my particular favorite. So let's say I sold the 25 delta at 25 delta call on the 18 strike, and I bought the 19 call. So what we see here is a net credit of 13 cents. Now, to me, when I look at this trade, I'm not interested in it. And I'll give you a few reasons why. First, the credit doesn't necessarily align with the delta. That's the easiest way that I look at it. So we're going to be taking $13 in credit, which is pretty much nothing. But we're going to be taking in 13 cents of credit and have a 77% probability of profit. But if you look on the screen here, you can see that the max profit is 13, where the max loss, the max risk on the trade is 87. So your probability of profit is 77, your max loss is 87. For me, I want to see those two be as close to in balance as possible. That's where I find the best risk reward to be, where the max risk in the trade is essentially the same percentage of profit. So let's look at another example. Maybe we can find a better one. Let's go to XLE. So just for example, let's click on the 67 call strike here to sell that. And let's click on the 68 strike to buy that. So we have a $1 wide call credit spread. Now here, this is much more in line. We've got a 75% probability of profit and a 79% max risk in the trade, or a $79 max risk in the trade. So to me, this looks like an ideal candidate for the right risk and reward scenario. And this is how I base pretty much all of my trades. By looking at the implied volatility rank, it gives us an idea of how expensive options are. But unless this spread makes the right risk-return relationship, I'm not going to be interested until that hits the right balance between the two.
Here on the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, we give you the tools, tips, and tricks to help you trade faster and trade smarter. And I think the smartest thing you could do is open a new brokerage account with Tastyworks. Tastyworks is a brokerage platform that I use and I recommend. The commission structure is absolutely unbeatable at $1 per leg total. Now, if you sign up for a free Tastyworks account using the code 10MINUTE, that's 10MINUTE, I'll give you $150 in free 10-Minute Trader exclusive bonuses from 10MinuteStockTrader.com just for opening a free account at Tastyworks. Remember to use the code 10MINUTE, that's 10MINUTE, when signing up for your new Tastyworks account today.
Now you'll find through these examples is it's not spot on. Sometimes it's a little bit more, where you're going to be taking in more credit than the risk on the trade. But most of the time, it's going to be a few cents less, and that's just the options pricing on it. So let's look at another example. Let's look at IWM. And we click IWM, and let's go to the 24 delta. We're going to sell the 151 call strike, buy the 152 call strike, and this one's even better, right? So we're taking in 26 cents in credit, which you see here on the right-hand side of the screen, on a 24 delta. That's actually a better risk-return relationship than I had expected. So then we're going to look at the summary page for this trade, and you'll see that the probability of profit is in line with the max risk in the trade. So 74% probability of profit, 74% max, or $74 max risk in the trade. Now this is a trade that makes a lot of sense to me to put on because it has the right risk-return balance and it has a 79% implied volatility rank. So it's a very high probability trade. And you can see here on the far right hand side of the summary screen, it has a 79% probability of reaching 50% of its max profit before expiration. So I like this trade a lot. This is a good one here. But if we look at, let's say we want to do a 50-50 trade, and this is where the options pricings may not line up like you would think they would. So if you're selling an in-the-money put spread, where you essentially have a 50 delta put, and you're selling a 50 delta put, and then you're buying one strike behind that. So we're going to be selling the 144, buying the 143. This has a $43 max profit and 57 max loss. But where I don't like it is the probability of profit's 48, where the max risk is 57. That's a $9% gap there, and that's too far for me. So this is a trade that I'm not interested in. So even on the same underlying, in the same expiration cycle, we can have a risk-return relationship that makes sense on the 24 delta call spread, and we can have a risk-reward profile that doesn't make sense on the 50 delta put spread. And you'll have to play with it to find the right strike and the right balance that works for you. So whenever I'm putting on an options trade, this is the method that I use to balance risk and reward before I enter a trade. Now I want to start doing something new here, and at the end of every segment, putting on something that could be useful to you in your day going forward. And today's motivational quote, don't forget, you can start late, you can start over, you can be unsure, you can act different, you can try and fail, and you can do all of that, and you can still succeed. Now, thank you for tuning into today's How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, where we give you the tools, tips, and tricks you need to trade faster and trade smarter. I've been your host, the 10-minute stock trader himself, Christopher Uhl. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a review on iTunes if you don't mind. A 5-star would be great. And I'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, brought to you by 10MinuteStockTrader.com. If you feel that I brought you any value at all, please consider showing your appreciation by becoming a supporter of this free podcast at anchor.fm/Christopher-Uhl/support. This allows me to be able to create more content to give you the tools, tips, and tricks you need to help you trade faster and trade smarter. Our mission statement at 10MinuteStockTrader.com is to empower others to employ the strategic advantages of options trading and to provide confidence that they can profit in any market scenario. Please be sure to give me a like and a comment below and tell me how you can use this in your own portfolio. I have so much more content just like this over at 10MinuteStockTrader.com. There you'll find all the bullish, bearish, and neutral strategies I trade, as well as everything I've traded in my portfolio over the last year. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. It really does mean the absolute world to me that I've become a part of your day. And like I always like to say, I've been your host, Christopher Uhl, and thanks for stopping by. Now that wraps up today's How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast. I've been your host, Christopher Uhl, and thanks for stopping by. 10MinuteStockTrader.com content is for information and educational purposes only. It is not, nor is it intended to be trading or investment advice or recommendation that any security, futures contract, options contract, transaction, or other financial instrument or strategy is suitable for any person. Trading securities can involve high risk and the potential for total loss of any funds invested. 10MinuteStockTrader.com and Christopher Uhl, through its content, financial programming, or otherwise, does not provide investment or financial advice or make investment recommendations. Investment information provided may not be suitable for all investors and is provided without respect to the individual investors and audience's financial sophistication, financial situation, investing time horizon, or risk tolerance. 10MinuteStockTrader.com and Christopher Uhl are not in the business of transacting security trades, nor does it direct client commodity accounts or give commodity trading advice tailored to any particular client's situation or investment objectives. 10MinuteStockTrader.com and Christopher Uhl are not licensed financial advisors, registered investment advisors, or registered broker-dealer. Stocks, options, futures, futures options, and any instruments not included here involve risk and are not suitable for all investors. You alone are responsible for making your investment trading decisions and for evaluating the merits and risk associated with the use of any financial security and brokerage platform. For more information, please visit 10MinuteStockTrader.com/legal. And thanks for stopping by.